Hi, welcome to wiseinterventions.org. My name is Greg Walton at Stanford University and a creator of this site. I'm so glad you're here. Maybe you're concerned about a problem, bad school achievement, bad health, intergroup conflict, and you're looking for solutions. Maybe you want to learn more about field experiments in psychology. Regardless, I hope this website will help. It comes from a labor of love. For me, it began long ago when I was in high school and I first learned about stereotype threat. Research showing that just changing how a test was represented in the lab could dramatically reduce inequalities. If you framed a test the right way, African American students or women in math and science scored much better. So I wondered, could you do that outside the lab, in the real world? Could that raise achievement and reduce inequalities in school? Could those benefits become enduring and improve the trajectory of people's lives? Little did I know, there's a whole tradition of field research in social psychology, back to a founder of the field, Kurt Lewin. That tradition tells us there's nothing so practical as a good theory. If you really want to solve a problem, you gotta understand what causes it. And one of the big lessons of social psychology is that how people make sense of things, like a tough academic test, matters enormously. When people have negative views, when a test feels scary or threatening, risky, that can get in the way of people's goals. So researchers have asked, can we prevent pejorative interpretations of tests and other social situations of other people and even oneself? And in fact, targeted psychological exercises to do just this, often brief but well designed, can help people in their lives. They can raise achievement, improve health, reduce conflict, strengthen marriages, prevent child abuse, sometimes even over years. What are these exercises? Why and how do they work? What do they tell us about people? And how can we use them to help people flourish? I gave a talk once a few years ago on some interventions. A researcher in another field came up to me afterward and said, "That is the most amazing social science research I've ever seen. Why didn't I think of that?" And I thought, you didn't think of this because you're not a psychologist. You weren't trained in the traditions and the approach of the field. Just like I didn't know how to address stereotype threat when I was in high school. The work we do today all rests on the shoulders of researchers and innovators, and theories going back to Lewin. So I wanted to pull this social psychological tradition together to show what is distinct about this approach to social problems, how it's different from other approaches and complementary, how it can help us make progress on some of the toughest challenges we face. I asked my colleague, the eminent social psychologist, Tim Wilson at the University of Virginia, to join me. In over 4 difficult and thrilling years, we wrote this paper, Wise Interventions, Psychological Remedies for Social and Personal Problems, which was published in 2018 in Psychological Review. In the process, we cataloged hundreds of interventions. At first, these were just notes for us as we tried to organize the field as a whole. But then we realized that our notes would be helpful for others too. So we put them into supplementary tables in the paper, but what do you do with a 100-page table in a Word document? So we created wiseinterventions.org. It's searchable. You can search by social problem area like education, health, relationships. You can search by psychological process. What interventions have capitalized on similar motivations that underlie how people make sense of matters? And you can search by intervention technique. What interventions have used saying is believing to increase people's commitment to an idea? And it's addable. You can add research, your own or others, so our collective knowledge can grow. So please use this website. Tell us what you like and tell us what can be better. Read the paper linked on the website to see how the parts fit together. And if you're a researcher, do psychologically precise work in field settings. Take a psychological process you know and love. Consider a problem that process might be relevant to. Put them together in a setting that matters. And develop your own wise intervention. Test it, try it in new contexts, partner with partners and non-psychologists to extend it and do it better. And then, maybe you've already done that, submit your research so we can grow our database. Thank you.